case.
One more.
Could all council members take your seat in the well? All council members, please take your seat in the well. Okay. Madam Clerk,
Okay.
please call the roll.
Griffin,
Here.
Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moorer, Polensik, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll make the following statement. This meeting of Cleveland City Council is a lawful meeting under Section 605.04 of the Codified Ordinances. No person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak only under the rules set by this council. Disruptions, including but not limited to speaking out of turn and making loud noises and loud utterances, are in violation of the rules and interfere with the due conduct of this lawful meeting. Such disruptions may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of Section 605.04. Anyone who disrupts this lawful meeting in violation of the codified ordinances commits misdemeanors and is subject to prosecution. The following is the first and only warning. If this meeting is disrupted, I will gavel a halt to the proceedings and direct the assembled officers to escort any person participating in the disruption out of the chamber. Once persons participating in the disruption are outside of the chambers, the officers will close the doors and the disruptors will be handled as directed by the Director of Public Safety. The council proceedings will not begin until those that participated in the disruption have left the chamber and the chamber doors are closed. Disruptors will not be allowed back in the chamber after the meeting resumes. Again, this is the first and only warning. Madam Clerk, please dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Welch, that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with the journal approved, seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
We'll move to public comment. Once again, will all the council members please turn around so that you can acknowledge the speakers, and I'll ask all of the speakers to acknowledge your time. Yellow means to wrap it up. Red means that your time is up and we have to move on. First up, we have Dia Dar Issa. And Deodar Issa is from Ward 11. And the topic is the importance of community engagement, why it's so important to vote, realizing how powerful our voices are, and continuing to work together towards progress. He's with the Coalition for a Better Cleveland, but he is not being paid by anyone. Dia, you had the floor.
Awesome, thank you. And I want to welcome everybody here tonight, our first speech since the election. This is a time to show appreciation, celebrate our wins so far, look at lessons learned, and practice reciprocity. As a group, I am thankful for my Coalition for a Better Cleveland family. It is with a full heart and so much pride I get to congratulate our own Nikki Hudson on her win to Councilwoman-elect for Ward 11. If you haven't already familiarized yourself with Nikki, which I find that hard to believe, I know she'll make the council body proud. And regarding the former CVS case, 791-2024, no further developments have been made when we urgently need this legislation withdrawn now. In the hustle and bustle of election and re-election campaigns, I could see how things can easily be swept under the rug. But under the rug is not where we need this legislation. It actually needs to be tabled, and it needs to be done now. Just as nail-biting as this razor-thin margin in Ward 12 is, we're eagerly awaiting the new developments of the former CVS site. Because there's always work to do, there always has been work to do, and there will always be work to do. Council terms come and go, but the promises made to your constituents and the desire for the continued improvement of the city of Cleveland should last forever. Thank you, and that is my time.
Thank you. Next, we have Selena Vicario from Ward 15 to talk about park and land swaps, and she is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. You have the floor.
Good evening. We celebrate the groundbreaking on a new Marion Seltzer school amidst many school closing. And yet, the land adjacent, the land being used as equipment staging grounds, our beloved Cadell Commons Park, has still not been returned to the rightful hands of the people. CMSD is still the recipient of an illegal land swap of the Watterson Lake property for Cadell Commons Park. Franz Cadell created Cadell Commons Park as a designated park for the people forever. Why hasn't this land swap been reversed? When can we expect that? Because currently all of the trees near the playground are slated for removal without reason. All of that mature biodiversity just gone. Despite the adults and the children who play there repeatedly stating that they'd like for the play area to have natural shade from trees. Tree canopy takes decades to regrow if planted and maintained properly. The destruction of mature trees is an act of violence against the community rooted in historical oppression. There are currently no regulations or protection for our canopy or biodiversity in the city. We have a tree coalition who are not able to do what they need to do and were designed to do, and this is no shade to them. We need protection for mature trees from unnecessary death and destruction. With the climate crisis amidst, we need ecological infrastructure that will protect us. Trees, especially native trees, are a huge defense against the harsh climate changes that we are facing due to the fossil fuel industry. Where is the stewardship for the land and the water and the people? When will you stop the illusion of choice surrounding ecological devastation that impacts every one of us? We fought consistently for the return of Cadell Commons Park to the people. We've been met with consistent resistance and at best platitudes from all the stakeholders involved in the illegal land swap of Cadell Commons Park. I stand before you again disappointed in this nonfeasance and again asking for the reverse of the land swap and for protection for the trees. The trees in the parks and the trees throughout the city are our neighbors. Without them, our air is less clean, our utility bills increase, our neighborhood less safe, and worst, we know better. We know better than to take for granted what we have. We know the statistics that emphasize the importance of native trees and parks on community health. We know that ecological infrastructure is worth investing in and maintaining, and yet we still continue to fight for a tree canopy that has lost 6% in the last several years. Reverse the land swap and implement protections for existing mature trees. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Terrence Upchurch from Ward 10 to talk about property tax legislation and congressional redistricting updates. He is not representing anyone, and he's not being paid by anyone. Representative Upchurch.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. Good evening. I wanted to brief you on the property tax legislation. House Bill 186, which passed a couple weeks ago, will provide a tax credit for homeowners who are on the 20 mil floor for property taxes. Now, property taxes are typically assessed at a lower effective rate each year to ensure property taxes don't rise just because property tax values are rising. Okay, this is known as a tax reduction factor. Now, this bill does provide a tax reduction factor that the 20 mil floor, which guarantees that a school's operating tax levy cannot fall below $20 million, which is $20 for every $1,000 of a property's assessed value. Okay, this legislation will provide a tax credit to homeowners, which will take tax revenue away from school districts and force them to fall below the 20 mil floor, shifting the tax burden onto our local schools and diminishing their already strained budget. So you, the council, and the administration will again be forced to do more with less. I did not support this legislation. This is not real property tax relief. This is, again, the majority showing smoking mirrors and acting as if they are doing something, but they are not answering the issues of property taxes that are continuing to rise here in the city of Cleveland. There are bills that I want you all to pay close attention to that are in the legislature right now. House Bill 103, which has been introduced by Representative Dan Troy, who's in this area, or Cuyahoga County. House Bill 143, Representative Brennan out of Parma is a joint sponsor. And lastly, House Bill 156 has been introduced by Representative Dunny Isaacson. My office has sent all of your office bill analysis of these bills and where they are in the legislative process. So please keep your eyes on those bills. And if you'd like to come down and testify on these bills in committee, I encourage you all to come down. Councilman Starrs, come down, and I look forward to bringing my new Councilman Polensek, down to come and testify. But thank you, Mr. President, for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Upchurch. Next, we have Fauzi Badur. Fauzi Badur is from Ward 11. He's here to talk about 10022 Madison Avenue, the old CBS building, Coalition for a Better Cleveland. He's not being paid by anyone. Mr. Badur.
Good evening, all Mayor, Council President. I congratulate all those who's coming back. Sorry to see Rebecca Moore leaving the council. Rebecca isn't going anywhere. She will be here, and she will be with us, and we will be with her. I like to thank the people, the voters of my community, Coudale, West Boulevard, Edgewater, for saying big no, huge no to the gas station. And I thank the people of South Collinwood and Euclid Park for saying no to the gas station at 10022 Madison Avenue. I'd like especially to congratulate Mike Polensek and Tan Mei Shah. Tan Mei Shah will be here representing Ward 12 comes next year. I read your comment and Mayor's comment for Danny Kelly, that he's a nice man. I agree with you. Danny Kelly is one of the nicest men I ever come across. But he's the worst public servant I have come across too. I mean, on Tuesday night, election day, you and I, President Griffin, talked for a minute, and you said to me one word that affected me, and I know it. I told you I know it. You said you are involved with your community. Here we're talking about not involvement with the community. We're being dragged for the whole year to fight a proposal of gas station that put in the, I asked Danny Kelly, we all asked Danny Kelly to withdraw that resolution. In a private correspondence with us, he says to withdraw it. It wasn't withdrawn. Either Councilman Kelly doesn't know how to withdraw it, or he was just freezing it, wait until after the election. Now, morally wrong for this proposal to be pushed during this council tenure. It's wrong morally and ethically. It shouldn't be, and that gas station shouldn't have happened. And one more thing, just, I have to cut everything. And that 5-1 vote, the only one vote that we cared for is the no vote that cast by Jenny Spencer. Jenny, you represented our community faithfully and truthfully and to the best of your ability. We are so proud of you, and we're going to celebrate you forever. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Susan Zimmerman. Susan Zimmerman is from Ward 15, Coudale. She's here to talk about the proposed spot zoning at Madison Avenue and West Boulevard. And she is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Susan, you have the floor.
Good evening. My neighbors and I, as has been said previously, are afraid this really terrible idea may be resurrected amid the uncertainty over the election result in the new Ward 12 Shaker Madison LLC wants to put this gas station at 10022 Madison Avenue, the site of the former CVS, at the intersection of West Boulevard. Councilman Danny Kelly has supported that and proposed spot zoning to allow what is a prohibited use under current zoning. That corner is part of a retail overlay district. The Board of Zoning Appeals has already ruled against the gas station, thus Mr. Kelly's spot zoning proposal. It's been on hold while the city considers moving our neighborhood fire station, number 23, at 98th, West 98th Street and Madison Avenue to this property. Mayor Bibb, please secure that property for a sorely needed new gas station. Council members, I invite you to visit my neighborhood. That site is adjacent to the Kudell Recreation Center. It's only a 10-minute drive from here. If you head north on West Boulevard, go around all the curves and see if you don't find it confusing and dangerous for drivers to maneuver as a winding West Boulevard crosses not only Madison Avenue, but also West 101st Street here. And let's face it, there are a lot of bad drivers out there. Firefighters and EMTs are good drivers. They are already watching for our children coming to and from the Recreation Center, Marion Seltzer School, Kudell Fine Arts Center, and Kudell Commons Park and the basketball courts there. And in our neighborhood, a lot of children walk. Many of their parents don't have cars. Other drivers in a hurry with a phone in one hand and a latte in the other will not be so careful. If a gas station is built on that corner, it's only a matter of time before a child is injured or killed. Please halt the plans for this gas station once and for all. Build our new fire station at this corner. Thank you.
Next, we have Matthew Ahn from Ward 3. He's here to talk about flock safety. He is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone.
Good evening. Matthew Ahn, old 3, new 5. Let's talk flock. I want to be clear, my comment is not a defense of ShotSpotter, which I'm glad the city wants to junk. I am here to say that flock is even worse. Flock, first off, claims to identify gunshots like ShotSpotter, but flock differs in one particular way. There is no human in the middle to ensure that the alert is accurate. People only audit the alert weeks after the fact for training purposes. Flock touts an accuracy rate of 90%, which would be equivalent to 1,500 false alarms over the life of the ShotSpotter pilot, even if we believe them. ShotSpotter claims 97%. But neutral experts have concluded both numbers are inflated, and independent audits in cities with the resources estimate that the confirmable accuracy rate is 8 to 13%. That happens to be the approximate proportion of ShotSpotter alerts that led to an incident report in Cleveland. I don't think that that's a coincidence. Flock promises to train its model on its new data, but it adds new data to the old. So if Flock auditors make a mistake, that error appears to compound in their model forever, which makes Flock's model very risky. Algorithms cannot overcome human bias. If you put garbage in, you will get garbage out. Most troubling from the CSU study, ShotSpotter increased response times for priority 2 calls, such as domestic violence calls. Flock does not solve that problem, even with its streamlining. Is it worth millions to increase response times citywide for tech that has only resulted in 60 arrests per year? Cleveland has already seen a murder prosecution derailed by AI, and Flock's algorithm can feed into this. The National Innocence Project is already litigating cases involving Flock and ShotSpotter, and I suspect that both wrongful conviction settlements and botched cases will cost Cleveland more in the long run than the tech itself. This is to say nothing of the privacy concerns, with ICE having been confirmed to have accessed Flock data without permission across the country. Flock was also used for weeks to surveil a woman alleged to have sought a medication abortion in Texas. Dozens of cities have canceled their Flock contracts given this news, and these are the same values the council claims to stand for. The CSU study notes clearly that none of these tools are crime prevention. Flock and ShotSpotter alerts are post-crime alerts. Crime does not meaningfully decrease by focusing on the back end after that crime has happened. Investment in actual prevention strategies are more successful, cost-effective, and get at residents' concerns about crime. I want us to actually prevent these crimes before they happen, and I'm happy to speak with any of you about what we know actually works. Council has spoken frequently about being a punching bag in the media, but expanding Flock's contract at the very moment when other cities are dumping it thanks to the mountains of evidence we have raises questions, and I hope Council can see why introducing this right after one of its members resigned to join Flock raises questions. What role did Kerry McCormack play in suggesting Flock as a provider? What did he say to other council folks? What role is he now playing as a lobbyist? Council has an opportunity to be transparent, and if you don't take it, this contract will forever be surrounded by those questions. So I hope Council follows the evidence about what actually prevents crime and ceases its business with Flock rather than expanding it. Thank you.
Next, we have Terry Wang. Terry Wang is from Tremont. Talk about the lack of public accountability among Cleveland's elected officials, not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone. Ms. Wang.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm here tonight to update the public on the lawsuit I filed this July at my own expense in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court against the City of Cleveland. For nearly 3 years, the city, including the mayor and city council, has refused to correct its open violations of Section 115 of the city charter, which governs how to appoint members of the Community Police Commission and the Civilian Police Review Board, who, by the way, the commission has final authority over police policies such as Flock. These aren't technical mistakes. They are deliberate violations of the will of the Cleveland voters who demanded stronger civilian oversight of the police. Instead of fixing the problem, the city law department, led by Mark Griffin, has spent taxpayer money delaying, deflecting, and even lying to the court in order to disqualify my attorney, rather than simply follow the law. And if I win this case, the city, meaning the taxpayers, will be the ones paying for the administration's unlawful choices. Documents we obtained show that the mayor and council knowingly appointed people who don't meet the charter's requirements. One stunning example is Luther Roddy, an active duty Cleveland police officer. The charter explicitly prohibits active officers from serving. He hasn't attended a single commission meeting because the city can't figure out how to double pay him as both a city employee and a commissioner. Now, I know the commission may not be on the minds of many Clevelanders tonight, but here's why it matters. When SNAP benefits are cut, when property taxes rise, when rents and groceries climb while wages stay flat, who gets called when families hit a breaking point? The police. They become the frontline managers of an economic crisis our local officials created and refused to solve. As affordability collapses, Cleveland will rely on policing to contain poverty instead of confronting inequality. That's why civilian oversight is essential. It's not just about discipline, it's about ensuring public safety serves the people, not those in power. At the same time, neither our local press nor even the Federal Monitor has been willing to tell the truth about how the commission has been captured by the city. Their silence protects City Hall from accountability and delays the public's understanding of how deep these violations go. When people aren't informed, power remains unchallenged. This lawsuit is more than about procedure. It's about whether democracy still works in Cleveland, whether rules apply equally to the powerful and the working alike. People of Cleveland, I know you are going through a lot, but please stay alert, stay involved, and keep fighting for the city you deserve. Because when the people pay attention and work together, power has to listen. And I want to note that sitting in this room is Commissioner Pete Van Leer, who, though he sits on the commission, is the person that pushed forward ShotSpotter despite the concerns of other commissioners and experts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Stephanie Thomas, Ward 11, to talk about the gas station, and she is not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone. Ms. Thomas, you have the floor.
The people have spoken. The co-sponsors of the gas station legislation have either been defeated or are currently losing their election by 7 votes. I mentioned 2 weeks ago how we have to warn new people that move into our sober house on West Boulevard about the gas station on West Boulevard in Lorraine. Tonight, I'm going to speak from my strength, determination, and personal experience. This was many months ago, when I was still living on site. It was early. I was up with the birds to write grants or my employee manual or work on our construction budget or whatever task it was. And I walked out of the sober house at 7 o'clock in the morning to go get something from the store. I was standing in front of the St. Ignatius Church waiting for the light to change when a dark-colored van pulled up with the passenger window open. The driver was a single man in his 50s or 60s. His skin had not seen the sun. He was overweight and jaundiced. He asked me if I wanted a ride. I informed him that I was walking across the street and did not need a ride to the gas station. He said, "Get in the car and I'll take you anywhere you want to go." He said, "I'll give you $50. Now the light had changed, and when I responded, "No, I'm busy," he tore off down the street on Denison Avenue with no visible plates. I am not new. I know there are sex workers on the reign. My ex-wife was a homeless sex worker when she died in Phoenix 2 years ago. At our house, we have housed sex workers. But I was taken back. This motherfucker tried to traffic me off West Boulevard.
Please refrain from those comments.
Apologies. You know that I was not even aware that this was the same owner of the proposed gas station as the Race Fuel gas station. I was driving through the neighborhood to see my chairwoman one day, and I had to do a double take. Councilman Kelly, Mayor Bibb, why are you even negotiating with a gas station owner who calls his property in Buckeye Race Fuel? Classists are trying to pull this country apart, starting at the bottom. The last time I checked, Cleveland was the poorest major city in the country. That name, Race Fuel, sounds like a Republican subplot, and you were trying to let them put another one on West Boulevard next to a school and in the park where Tamir Rice was murdered by police. Danny, we know your campaign took $6,000 from this gentleman. Until the gas station legislation is tabled, we will be here.
Next, we have Aisha Bell Hardaway. She's from outside of Cleveland, and she's here to talk about Tanisha's Law, and she's not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Dr. Hardaway, you have the floor.
Thank you, Council President Griffin. I may not live in Cleveland, but I work and have family that live in Cleveland, so not quite outside Cleveland, but thank you, sir. Good evening. In just 2 days, on November 12th, our community will mark the 11th year that Tanisha Anderson's life was taken during a mental health crisis and a call for service in 2014. For 11 years, her family, first led by her mother, Cassandra Johnson, now deceased, and now her uncle, Michael Anderson, have worked diligently to ensure that community members in need of mental health services don't suffer the same fate that Tanisha did and that the others before her did also. The family's diligent efforts culminated last year with the introduction of Tanisha's Law. On October 13, 2024, Councilwoman House Jones, Councilwoman Maurer, and Councilman Slife filed Tanisha's Law with this body for consideration. It then was placed on this council's meeting agenda on November 4th of 2024. Over the last year, much work has been done by community activists and organizers to develop a model that will provide Clevelanders with services on par with those successfully created in other cities throughout this nation. Despite their consistent efforts, it is my understanding that this body is typically required to conduct an administrative review within 30 days of legislation being filed. Mr. Anderson and his family have not seen any progress from this body. It has been 375 days since the legislation was filed. We know you all have been busy with contested primaries and a busy general election. Now that that business has been settled, I am here today asking two things. One, what will this body do to ensure that Tanisha Anderson did not die in vain? And two, what will this body do to ensure that Clevelanders receive a care response to mental health needs similar to those that other community members in other cities throughout this country receive? I appreciate your time and consideration.
Thank you, and I typically don't respond, but I just want to make just two things. One is I only put down what was submitted, so if I did say outside of Cleveland, it was only because somebody put that on there. Number one. Number two, I do want to make a clarification that when it goes to administrative review, it goes to the administration side. We just now, through Councilwoman House Jones' efforts, were able to get that returned to us, I think yesterday or Friday. So it wasn't council, it was actually in administrative review on the executive side. Okay, thank you. Last but not least, we have Richard Pryor III, and is here to talk about Ward 3, political reform, not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Council President. It's good to be back. First, may I say, since the first time I've addressed this body in 2 years, that as a resident of current Ward 3 and today's Ward 5, to welcome my new Councilwoman, Councilwoman Welch. Glad to have you representing us for however long this term lasts, which is only a few more months. I lived in New Jersey for the last 2 years because I was getting a graduate degree, and I've come back with no real addition, just a new little subtitle that I can use after my name. But the first month that I was in New Jersey, we saw a seismic event happen. Bob Menendez, the senior senator from the state who had represented the state at all levels of politics for decades, was indicted by the federal government on charges relating to bribery from foreign nations. When he chose not to run for re-election, a U.S. representative ran named Andy Kim, but so did the state's first lady. And because of the way that power has been distributed in New Jersey, thanks to something called the county line, which I could go into much more detail about, but I wouldn't, it meant that that would give her a significant advantage to the tune of approximately 38% more of the vote in every county that endorsed her and put her first on their ballots. That is no longer in force. Now Senator Kim, activists from across New Jersey, worked our butts off, and he sued, and we got a federal injunction, and now the state legislature has repealed it. It no longer exists. Why I bring this up is not just because it's a fun fact, although I think it is. It's because we believe that the arc of the moral universe bends towards justice, but we don't know how and where it's going to bend. My master's is in history, and I can tell you that I think I, like everybody else in this room, wants to be on the right side of it when all is said and done. So I hope council, both in what remains of this term, but also in the upcoming 4 years, that we can work together, not just as representatives and constituents, but as citizens, as people who love the city of Cleveland, to make this a better place to do politics and policy, to fight against gerrymandering like we all voted against in 2024's issue 1, to create, as my colleague Mr. Ahn said, brought up with Flack and my now former councilmen, create revolving door laws that stop former members of council or the administration from working for companies that are going to lobby our city to spend millions of dollars. That's just insane. Margaret Mead said that we can never doubt that only one person or a small group of citizens can change the world. We know they can. And so, council, I'd like to invite you to join with me and to everybody across Cleveland who believes that we can be a real, thriving and functioning democracy. Let's do that.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, please share communications.
File number 1387, 2025, from Cleveland Foundation, third quarter 2025 report for Neighborhood Safety Fund, pursuant to Ordinance 486, 2023, passed May 15, 2023. File number 1388, 2025, from Sarah Duggan Asen, Operations Salis Development, LLC, notice of intent to apply to Ohio Housing Finance Agency for multifamily funding programs for the development known as Emeritus House at 4450 Cedar Avenue, Ward 5. File number 1389, 2025, oath of office for Cecilia Rodriguez, interim housing officer for City of Cleveland. File number 1434, 2025, oath of office for Nigamanth Sridhar, school board member, received. File number 1436, 2025. Oath of office for Carolyn J. Peak, School Board Member, received. File number 1437, 2025. Oath of office for Charlene Jones, School Board Member, received. File number 1438, 2025. Oath of office for Midori Lebron, School Board Member, received. File number 1439, 2025. Oath of office for Kate Warren, Assistant Director of Innovation Technology Office of 311, City of Cleveland, received. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 1390, 2025, regarding a new license application at 3224 West 73rd Street, Ward 3. File number 1391, 2025, regarding a transfer of license application at 4732 Lorraine Avenue, Ward 3. File number 1392, 2025, regarding a new license application at 10502 Superior Avenue, Ward 9. File number 1393, 2025, regarding a transfer of license application at 8808 Detroit Avenue, Ward 15. File number 1394, 2025, regarding an economic development transfer application at 1026 Euclid Avenue, Ward 3.
Thank you. Are there any condolence resolutions?
Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember Griffin for Ethel May Cook, by Councilmember Griffin for John Francis Lewis, by Councilmember Casey for Margaret Peggy Yamnick, by Councilmember Griffin for Reverend Dr. Charles Lucas.
Thank you. Any other condolence resolutions? Councilman Kevin Bishop.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, can you hold out a number for Nathaniel Stanley?
So
Duly noted. Are there any other condolence resolutions? Seeing no other condolence resolutions, will all council members rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Are there any congratulatory resolutions?
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember House Jones for Commander Horace Johnson, by Councilmember House Jones for Gethsemane Baptist Church, by Councilmember House Jones for Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry, by Councilmember Polensek for Garden of Prayer Church and the Overflow Ministries, by Councilmember Griffin for Gary Johnson Sr. Resolutions of recognition by Councilmember Griffin for Lorna Wisham, by Councilmember Casey for Funeral Director's Business of the Year for Sloan and Company, by Councilmember Casey for Sustainable Community Associates, by Councilmember Griffin for Grandmaster Maurice D. Powell.
Thank you. We'll now move to presentations, and I'm asking Councilman Kevin Conwell if he could join me at the mic, and then I'm going to ask for all of the men of Omega Psi Phi Incorporated if they could join us, the boss list right here with Councilman Conwell, and I'm going to ask if my colleagues will open up the well to invite our guests into the chambers. I got it right here. Be careful, right? It gets feedback.
2, 3, testing. Yeah, we in there. We in there. Stop.
All right, Kevin, you got the floor.
Yeah, you kick it off, man.
Well, first of all, I have the privilege and honor. It's always good when you get a chance to invite people that you work with on a regular basis to come and acknowledge them. And one of the things that we had is we had a great week this weekend with one of our mandated programs for Achievement Week. A lot of people don't know this, but Carter G. Woodson, who actually is the father of Black history, was an Omega Psi Phi Incorporated member, and actually kicked off Negro Achievement Week. and eventually it became Black History Month. And we had the honor and privilege of convening and fellowshipping this week. Our Basileus is here with us today, Basileus Earl Lee. For those of you who don't know what the Basileus is, he's the president. He's the man in charge of our organization. So we wanted to bring him down with Councilman Conwell and myself to just honor the men of Omega Psi Phi on a great achievement week, a great Achievement Week event, and just really all of the service that they do in our community on a regular basis. If any of the other D9 members on council or anybody else would like to join us, please feel free to come and join us at this time. Any of the D9 members, whether it's any of the fraternity or sororities, you're welcome to join us. Brother Lee? Sure. Mayor, if Mayor wanted to join us, he could. Yeah, come on. Yeah, Councilman, read some of it, and then Mayor could take a picture with it.
Yeah, we knock this out here. For Councilmember Kevin Conwell and Council President Blaine A. Griffin. Whereas the members of Cleveland City Council are sincerely pleased to recognize and congratulate the member of Zeta Omega Chapter Omega Psi Phi Fraternity on their 102nd years of distinguished service of the Cleveland community. Whereas for over 102 years, the Zeta Omega Chapter has done a great deal of helping out with promoting manhood, scholarship, as well as scholarships, perseverance, and uplifting consistency, and demonstrating leadership and dedication throughout civic engagement through youth mentorship and educational advanced opportunities. You want to finish reading this, son?
Where was you at?
You were following me.
Oh, yeah.
This is my son here. He's Omega Psi Phi, playing when he grabbed him.
Whereas the brothers of Zeta Omega have impacted countless lives, uplifting neighborhoods and empowering generations through their steadfast commitment to service and excellence. And whereas Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Inc. has established Achievement Week as a nationally mandated program to recognize individuals, organizations who make meaningful contributions to society while raising scholarship funds, which we did this weekend, which we raised a lot too, and we can take some more donations if you have them. Thank you. Whereas this past Saturday, November 8th, where we had 400 guests, and be it resolved that the City of Cleveland has sincerely proud and pleased to recognize the great Zeta Omega of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and celebrates the enduring legacy, leadership, and community impact of Zeta Omega Chapter, and further offers its sincere best wishes for continued success in its mission to uplift and empower future generations. Thank you.
If you make some comments, we'll take a picture. You don't want to make any comments?
As the bosses of the men of Zeta Omega Chapter, we are the largest chapter in Ohio and West Virginia. We've been around the game for 102 years, where our main focus is service. Service is our watchword. This is what we do every day. This is what we'll continue to do. We'd appreciate any assistance from all you council members as well. But again, we'd like to thank you, Brother Mayor, for this award and from the council. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a picture. We got room up here, too, for anybody else.
No, you still up front.
Lauren, you get up front. There we go, right there. Thank you. I don't want to burden them with actually having to come up, But what I would like to do is that the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Greater Cleveland Chapter Alumni Association is here, and I know my good friend Councilwoman Meredith Turner is here, represents. Will all of the ladies, all of the women of the Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated please stand? Please stand and be recognized. Let's give them a round of applause. I know that the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta actually came and spent time with council as well as the mayor today. Today is their government day where they're coming to learn everything they can about what we do here at Cleveland City Council. We appreciate and welcome you every year. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for all you do in the community as well. We really appreciate you. And on behalf of my brothers from Omega Psi Phi, Coleman love to all my sisters. Appreciate y'all. All right? All right. Are there any other presentations? That is the last presentation. All right, Madam Clerk, first reading, emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 1396, 2025, by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into a license agreement with a vendor to install and maintain an automated teller machine terminal located in room 122, Vital Statistics, for the use and convenience of the general public for a period of 1 year with a 1-year option to renew. Ordinance 1397, 2025, by council members House Jones, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner of purchases and supplies to acquire and reconvey properties presently owned by RJL 2230 SALLC or its designee located at 2230 Superior Avenue for the purpose of entering into a chain of title prior to the adoption of tax increment financing legislation authorized under Section 5709-41 of the Revised Code. Ordinance 1398, 2025, by council members Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of City Planning to employ one or more professional consultants to enhance the existing form-based code pilot program and expand the form-based code to additional districts and geographies for a period of 1 year with 3 one-year options to renew. Ordinance 1399, 2025, by council members House Jones, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner of purchases and supplies to acquire and reconvey properties presently owned by 2202 Superior LLC or its designee for the purpose of entering into a chain of title prior to the adoption of tax increment financing legislation authorized under Section 5709-41 of the Revised Code. Ordinance 1400, 2025, by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Capital Projects to apply to the District 1 Public Works Integrating Committee for state funding for the rehabilitation of a portion of Wade Park Avenue, to apply for and accept gifts and grants from various entities for the improvement, and authorizing the Commissioner of Purchases and Supplies to acquire, accept, and record for right-of-way purposes, real property and easements necessary to make the improvement. Ordinance 1401, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Finance to employ one or more professional consultants to provide accounting services and implementation assistance for the current and future Governmental Accounting Standards Board statements for the city's annual comprehensive financial report, and to provide accounting services in preparation and calculation of current GASBs that are already implemented by the city to transfer that knowledge to the appropriate city personnel. Ordinance 1402, 2025, by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Capital Projects to employ one or more professional consultants for the construction of pedestrian enhancements along Euclid Avenue, from Upper Valley Drive to Ivanhoe Road, known as the Euclid Avenue Pedestrian Improvement Project, to apply for and accept gifts or grants from any public or private entity, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner of purchases and supplies as appropriate to acquire, accept, and record for right-of-way purposes real property and easements necessary to make the improvement. Ordinance 1403, 2025, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services for fiscal year 26 Recovery Ohio LEF grant program to provide funding for the operation of the Cartel Gang Narcotics Laundering Task Force. Ordinance 1404, 2025, by Council Members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of implementing the active transportation program by repairing and constructing various safety improvements, including but not limited to pavement markings, delineator posts, sign fabrication material, traffic signal equipment, design and related improvements, and authorizing Director of Public Works to enter into one or more public improvement requirement contracts for the making of the improvement, authorizing the director to employ one or more professional consultants necessary to design the improvement, and authorizing the director to apply for and accept one or more gifts or grants or other funding from public and private entities. Ordinance 1406, 2025, by Council Members Bishop, Polensek, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, determine the method of making the public improvement of repairing, constructing, and installing various speed tables citywide for traffic calming and pedestrian safety purposes, and authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into one or more public improvement requirement contracts for the making of the improvement. Ordinance 1408, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the amendment of the 2024 revolving line of credit and/or issuance by the City of Cleveland of additional airport system subordinated indebtedness in the form of revolving lines of credit or a commercial paper program in an aggregate principal amount not to collectively exceed $476 million, and at any one time to pay costs of improving the airport system, authorizing amendments to the 2024 loan agreement and the 25th supplemental trust indenture, and/or entering into one or more revolving credit agreements, reimbursement agreements, official statements, dealer agreements, supplemental indentures, notes evidencing subordinated indebtedness, and other agreements related to subordinated indebtedness, and authorizing and approving related matters. Ordinance 1411, 2025, by Council Members Santana, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner of purchases and supplies to acquire and reconvey properties presently owned by TW58 Cleveland LLC or its designee for the purpose of entering into the chain of title prior to the adoption of tax increment financing legislation authorized under Section 5741 of the Revised Code. Ordinance 1416, 2025, by Council Members Polensek, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, to amend Sections 2 and 11 of Ordinance 993, 2025, relating to agreements with Cuyahoga County and Cleveland Metro Parks for the Euclid Beach Trail Connector to add additional land to the submerged land lease, and to supplement the ordinance by adding new sections 11A, 11B, 11C, 11D, and 11E relating to subleasing the land to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. Ordinance 1417, 2025, by Council Members Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, approving certain modifications and amendments to the St. Vincent Center Urban Renewal Plan with respect to releasing a permanent parcel from area boundaries. Ordinance 1418, 2025, by Council Members Conwell and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Aging to apply for and accept one or more grants from the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging for 2026-28 Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging programs, including supportive services and Aging and Disability Resource Center programs, and authorizing the director to accept gifts, grants, or other services from any public or private entities for the purpose of the grant. Ordinance 1421, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into an agreement with Housing Research and Advocacy Center, DBA Fair Housing Center for Rights and Research to provide professional services regarding the Vacant and Abandoned Property Action Council. Ordinance 1431, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into agreement with Western Reserve Land Conservancy, DBA Thriving Communities Institute, to provide professional services regarding signature green space creation, planning and policy, vacant land reforestation, and Reforest Our City program. Ordinance 1440, 2025, by Council Members Welch, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, approving the addition of property located at 1301 East 9th Street to Northeast Ohio Advanced Energy District, accepting and approving a petition and plan from property owner in the district identifying a special energy improvement project, declaring it necessary to conduct the Special Energy Improvement Project, providing for the assessment of the cost of such Special Energy Improvement Project, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into an energy project cooperative agreement and a special assessment agreement to implement the project and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 1445, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into an agreement with On Technology Partners for the professional services necessary to advise and assist to the maintenance and performance of computer technology projects and to provide specific computer technology services for Cleveland City Council. Ordinance 1446, 2025, by Council Members Bishop and Griffin, by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvements of purchasing, repairing, constructing, and installing signal support poles, and authorizing Director of Public Works to enter into one or more public improvement requirement contracts for the making of the improvement for a period not to exceed 2 years.
Thank you. First reading, emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 1405, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with Service Employees International Union, Local 1, and to amend Section 7 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1409, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with Laborers International Union, Local 860, non-supervisory unit, and to amend Section 26 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1410, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Local 507, full-time drivers and maintenance, and to amend Section 16 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1412, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Local 507, Guards, and to amend Section 9 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1413, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Laborers International Union 860 Supervisory Unit, and to amend Section 27 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1414, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Local 507, seasonal drivers and maintenance, and enact new sections 16A of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1415, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with International Brotherhood of Teamsters, Local 507, utility supervisors, and to amend Section 11 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 1435, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into a Fourth Amendment to the agreement with iVideo for professional services necessary for the implementation and installation of various components for an audio upgrade to council chambers and the Mercedes Cotner Committee Room for Cleveland City Council. Ordinance 1444, 2025, by Councilmember House Jones, consenting and approving the issuance of a permit for the 7th Annual Cleveland Curvante Current Dash on February 14, 2026, managed by Hermes Sports and Events.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
Excuse me. By Councilmember Welch, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Thank you. First reading emergency resolutions referred for administrative review and committee review.
Resolution 1407, 2025, by Council Members Griffin, Bishop, and Hairston, by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of Mount Carmel Road.
Thank you. First reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 1441, 2025, by Councilmember House Jones, withdrawing objection to a new D1 liquor permit at 2456 Lakeside Avenue and repealing Resolution 609, 2025, objecting to said permit. Resolution 1442, 2025, by Councilmember Welch, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a D2, D2X, D3 liquor permit at 500 West St. Clair Avenue and repealing Resolution 13, 2025, objecting to said permit. Resolution 1443, 2025, by Councilmember House Jones, withdrawing objection to a new D3A liquor permit at 3232 Lakeside Avenue and repealing Resolution 732, 2025, objecting to said permit.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Welch, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 1073, 2025, by Council Members Bishop, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and commissioner of purchases and supplies to sell certain city-owned property no longer needed for the city's public use located at the terminus of Byrne Avenue to Greg Znadel for the purpose of consolidation with existing land to be used for green space and garden development. Ordinance 1225, 2025, as amended by Council Members Hairston and Griffin by departmental request to amend the title of Ordinance 858, 2025, relating to budget allocations received from HUD for the 2025 Community Development Block Grant Home Investment Partnerships Act Grant, Emergency Solutions Grant, and Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS Grant, to supplement the ordinance by adding new sections 3 to 10 relating to the grants, and to renumber existing sections 3 to new section 11. Ordinance 1310, 2025, by Councilmember Spencer, requiring the Director of Department of Community Development and/or the Director of Finance, upon receipt of any voluntary payment in lieu by Heirloom Company, to deposit such payments for the sole purpose of Herman Park renovation and site improvements. Ordinance 1350, 2025, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more standard and requirement contracts for the purchase, lease, or lease with option to purchase of various on-road vehicles, apparatus, and off-road equipment, cabs, bodies, and accessories, equipment, and other aftermarket items necessary to equip the vehicles authorized for their intended purposes, including vehicle rehabilitation, training, and inspection as needed for the Department of Public Works. Ordinance 1351, 2025, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the procurement by one or more requirement contracts of the rental of large capacity trucks with operators for the Division of Streets, Department of Public Works, for a period of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Public Works. Ordinance 1354, 2025, by Councilmembers Welch, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, to amend Section 1 of Ordinance 711-12 relating to designating the East Ohio Gas Company building and garage as a Cleveland landmark. Ordinance 1357, 2025, by Councilmembers Conwell, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, to amend Section 1 of Ordinance 1861-84 relating to designating the St. Aloysius Church as a Cleveland landmark. Ordinance 1362, 2025, as amended by Councilmembers Starr, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a forgivable loan with Penrose Holding LLC or its designee to provide economic development assistance to partially finance the construction, pre-development, and renovation costs associated with converting 2 buildings located in Ward 5 service area into affordable apartments for seniors and families, and other associated costs necessary to redevelop the properties. Ordinance 1369, 2025, by Councilmembers Starr, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with Penrose Holdings LLC or its designee to assist with the financing of the Warner Swayze 1 LLC and Warner Swayze 2 LLC projects for the location to be located at 5701 Carnegie Avenue, to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Welch, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Call the roll on passage, or did we do that?
Yep.
Okay. Second reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 1096, 2025, by Council Members Bishop, Starr, and Hairston by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of East 81st Street.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Welch, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr, Welch. 16 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Palencic, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Star, Welch. 16 yeas.
Thank you. We'll move the legislation to be tabled.
Ordinance 1168, 2025, by Council Members Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Hatch Company to provide services for calibration, preventive maintenance, appropriate repairs, and to certify accuracy of laboratory and inline process equipment used to test drinking water that is manufactured by the Hatch Company for the Division of Water, Department of Public Utilities, for a term of 2 years.
Call the roll on approval of tabling.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, Palencic, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Star, Welch. 16 yeas.
Thank you. We will now move to introductions, and I know she's trying to slip out, but we have to acknowledge the illustrious Judge Emanuela Groves. And then I always have to acknowledge one of my favorite people, Miss Lisa Payne Jones, the wife of Peter Lawson Jones, former planning commissioner. We also have a newly elected judge, Judge Insan Loving, if she could please stand. Congratulations, she ran a great campaign and we're looking forward to seeing her as judge. And then my good friend from Warrensville Heights is here, Councilman Matthew Howard, if he could please stand. Are there any other introductions? Any other introductions? Councilman Anthony Hairston.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I would like to introduce my high school English, matter of fact, let me stand straight up because I want to get in trouble. My high school English teacher, Ward 10 resident Carolyn Speed. Miss Speed. Yes, I lit up like a Christmas tree when I saw her in here. Always a pleasure.
All right, any other introductions? Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones.
And it was also Councilwoman Andrea Mitchell, who is there from Warrensville Heights.
Councilwoman Mitchell, my apologies, good to see you. All right. Are there any other, Councilwoman Deborah Gray?
I would like to introduce all my current Ward 4 residents who I'm losing to Ward 1, Eric Walker.
Yeah. Are there any other introductions? Any other introductions? Seeing no other introduction. Oh, Councilman Anthony Hairston.
Man, listen, I can't forget about my main man sitting behind me, Brother Hardaway from East Tech. Hardaway, stand up, man.
Hardaway.
You talk about a worker, man, in the central neighborhood.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Councilman Conwell, introductions or announcements?
My son, Kevin Jr.
Yeah. All right. Any other introductions? Seeing no other introductions, any announcements? Any announcements? Any announcements? Councilman Kevin Bishop.
Yes, Mr. President. Tomorrow morning, I'm welcoming everybody to join me at my Veterans Day celebration at the Nelson off 93rd at 9322 Nelson Avenue. That's in the illustrious Ward 2 in Cleveland. It's at 10:30 a.m. So it's going to be from 10:30 to 12, our Veterans Day celebration. I'd like to invite everybody out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other announcements? Any other announcements? I did send out everyone a email, and I am going to have what's called open office hours. If anyone would like to come and talk to me regarding the upcoming year and staffing questions that some people may have, so I am making myself available. A couple of people took advantage of some time today to sit down and get my thoughts around how we can look at staff, so I am making myself available tomorrow morning. If anyone would like to come and talk with me, please text me or email me or call me. Actually, text or call me because I'm 800 emails behind today. So text or call me so that we can make sure that we slot a time for you and myself to have conversations around staffing recommendations and those of the like, okay? Any miscellaneous? Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones.
Yes, thank you, Council President. To my colleagues, I am going to be sending everyone some information. I know this upcoming Friday, the Safety Committee will be hearing a presentation regarding automatic license plate readers, regarding the organization Flock. There are some concerning things as I've been doing my research, specifically as it relates to targeting of immigrants due to Flock's contracts with ICE, also targeting of pregnant people and LGBTQ+ individuals from states that are hostile to pregnant people and LGBTQ+ individuals, and just overall the Fourth Amendment constitutional concerns. There are some serious things that are happening. Just as I was opposed to ShotSpotter, I was the only council member who was opposed to ShotSpotter. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me put that on there, on the record. 2 years ago, I do believe there are other legislative bodies across this country who have also got into contracts with Flock, who have then rescinded them. And I really believe sincerely that this body needs to look at it. The over-surveillance of just residents is just really concerning, where there are things that we can do to invest in people over for-profit companies that can really yield us the results that we want. Really thinking about what are we trying to accomplish and how are we going to partner with people and what are the necessary investments to make those things happen. But I will submit more information to document, at least from how I've come to my position. So thank you so much for my time.
Thank you. And if I'm not mistaken, Councilman Polinsik, you are having a hearing on that this week. You want to announce that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Madam Clerk, Honorable Administration, Mayor, we're going to have a special meeting this coming Friday at 10 o'clock. We're going to hear the presentation about ShotSpotter. The results of the oversight of ShotSpotter will be hearing. So anyone who's interested in hearing what the end results are of the ShotSpotter overview, be there on Friday at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other miscellaneous? Seeing no other miscellaneous, Madam Clerk, please excuse the absence.
By Councilmember Welch, that the absence of Councilmember Santana is hereby excused, seconded by Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you. This council is adjourned to the call of the chair until the next meeting. Thank you.